The story begins with Karag, not an ordinary boy but a rare shapeshifter who can live as both human and animal. His true form is a puma, raised by mountain pumas hidden deep in the wild. Despite his father's constant warnings that humans exploit animals for selfish gain, Karag remains fascinated by their world. His curiosity creates a silent rift in his family. Driven by wonder, Karag runs away to the human world, only to realize he cannot return. He stays quiet, hiding his identity after being adopted by a human couple, Anna and her husband, who know nothing of his truth. Over time, he adapts and human life becomes normal. Everything shifts when he sees news of increasing animal accidents, triggering memories of the mountains. That same day, Anna sends him to Clearwater High, hoping he will finally make friends. On the drive, two black crows follow their car, appearing repeatedly. Karag senses their presence and suspects they may be shapeshifters too. They stop at a hotel, but the crows stay close. That night he wakes to see wolves sprint through the streets, followed by a sudden power outage in a nearby building. The sight leaves him shaken. By morning they reach Clearwater High School. The moment Karag steps out, he recognizes the crows as students and shapeshifters. Inside the principal's office, Principal Lisa reveals she already knows his secret. The school exists for shapeshifters, training them to live safely among humans. She urges him, no more hiding. When Karag admits his true form is a puma, Lisa is impressed, calling pumas symbols of strength, presence, and resilience. A sudden alarm sounds. Anna and Melody have wandered into a restricted wildlife zone. Lisa quickly rescues them, explaining the school sits near a national park, which is why wildlife appears often. After things settle, she gives them a full campus tour. Karag is stunned seeing so many shapeshifters in one place. Tension rises when he meets Jeffrey and his wolf pack. Jeffrey and his wolf pack, the most dominant students who rule through fear. They reject him by scent, viewing the puma as a threat to their dominance. Before conflict erupts, Teacher James steps in and breaks it up. The visit ends. Anna says goodbye, leaving Karag behind in a school that may finally end his loneliness, but also a place that will challenge his identity, power, and survival among his own kind. Karag meets Andrew, the wealthy patron of Clearwater High. Lisa reveals the bigger twist. Andrew is a puma shapeshifter too, just like Karag. Their first eye contact sparks recognition, something old and familiar. When Andrew asks why Karag left the wild, Karag answers without fear. He wanted a life beyond instinct and birth, to become more than just a puma. Lisa escorts him to the dorms. Karag confesses his doubt. He hasn't shifted in years and fears the ability may be gone. Lisa reassures him. Instincts return through practice, and struggle is part of every beginning. A squirrel climbs through the window. Karag lets it in, only to learn it is Holly, his assigned roommate and guide. She gives him clothes and leads him to his first shapeshifting class, held deep in the forest. On the way, Karag meets Lou, who hints at a growing divide. Humans and shapeshifters are losing trust, tensions rising around a mining company incident. In class, the rule is firm. Powers are for training only, never in front of humans. The lesson focuses on speed, safety, self-control. Karag is asked to shift, but chaos strikes. Brandon, a bison shapeshifter, loses control and transforms, freezing the class. Karag tries next. He fails. Years of hiding weakened his connection to his true self. Lisa intervenes. She tells him to remember the wild, his puma family, childhood freedom running the mountains. Karag lets the memories flood in, closes his eyes, and finally, he transforms, reclaiming his nature stronger than before. Soon after, the principal orders all students to reveal their animal forms. Karag is shocked. Most are wolves. Lisa explains, the school trains balance. They are the bridge between two worlds, neither fully human nor fully animal. Brandon becomes his roommate. Holly takes them to the cafeteria, where Karag meets Dorian, whose second form is a domesticated cat shapeshifter, sent to Clearwater after a troubled life among humans. Lou arrives again with major news. The government plans a mining site inside the national park, a threat that will hurt wildlife the most. Next morning, combat training begins. Brandon refuses to fight, openly standing against violence. The teacher then calls Karag forward instead. Karag hesitates. He fails to shapeshift again. Andrew steps in, proving leadership beyond wealth. He gives Karag a small, soil-filled pouch, asks him to smell it, and memories surge back. In the next beat, he shifts. Though smaller than Berta, Karag's speed, agility, and presence give him the edge. Against expectations, Karag wins. After class, Andrew praises his intelligence and offers mentorship, which Karag accepts. He tells him to keep the pouch close at all times. Jeffrey soon confronts him, furious. Karag stays calm. Jeffrey mocks him, accusing him of thinking he's superior, then throws the ultimate challenge. Phase 2. Wolves alone tonight. Win, and the pack will never trouble you again. The challenge is set. Karag reveals Jeffrey's night challenge in a treehouse. Without hesitation, Holly and Brandon choose to stand with him, slipping into the forest at night. Karag shifts into a puma, calling for a fair duel, only to be ambushed by 4 coordinated wolves instead. Seeing him cornered, Brandon breaks his vow against violence, transforming into a bison and charging in. The wolves retreat. The victory belongs to Karag and his team, fear shattered in Brandon's charge. Next morning, Andrew mentions the fight casually. Karag is stunned. Andrew laughs, saying nothing here escapes his attention. Karag admits he left the wild too young, never learning to hunt or fight. Andrew decides he will train Karag personally, starting with hunting. Karag asks why he cares. Andrew counters with a question. If one day I need you, would you stand with me? Karag replies instantly. Oh, yes, always. Lisa confronts him later, already aware of everything. She warns clearly. Clearwater rules are absolute. No fighting outside training, no shifting in front of humans, no rule breaking. Karag nods, understanding the stakes. Soon after, Karag and Lou witness a secret human council meeting, debating conflict with Woodwalkers. A darker twist emerges. Recent animal-linked incidents may involve Woodwalkers themselves. They flee before being detected. The memory strikes Karag. The night he saw 4 wolves enter a powered-down building. Lou now sees the pattern too. Training begins. Andrew and Karag shift into pumas and race through the forest. Karag feels freedom return after years of hiding, mountain scents sharpening his instincts. Andrew points out a deer and orders a silent flank. Karag approaches from the opposite side, slow, patient, precise, and succeeds. His first real hunt, won through timing, control, and instinct. Later, Karag admits he is happy here, but misses Anna and Melody, and still wonders about his real parents. That evening, he proudly tells others about the hunt, only for Lou to react cold and furious, storming away. Holly explains, Lou's mother was once injured by a puma, and Lou has hated predators since. Karag chases her to apologize, but Lou has already shifted and vanished into the forest. Night thickens again. Wolves howl. Karag sees Jeffrey and his pack slipping into the city's edge, intimidating guards and attempting a silent break-in at a building. The truth locks into place. The recent human incidents were never random. Jeffrey ignited them from inside the school's shadows. A war quietly started from within. Karag follows, realizing the council wasn't debating accidents at all. It was circling a conflict already burning, one Jeffrey began. Karag confronts the wolves, demanding they stop. Andrew arrives in time, shutting the attack down. He sends the wolves back in the school vehicle and assistant Derek, while keeping Karag with him. On the drive, Andrew shares his past. His wife and daughter were puma shapeshifters. They hunted together until one day they vanished. After a long search, he found their photos on a hunting website, killing his sympathy for humans. Andrew then reveals a key truth. Woodwalkers have lived among humans for 50 years, protecting nature quietly. But humans have grown reckless, killing animals and destroying forests without hesitation. For Andrew, peace alone is no longer enough. Many students already stand with him, ready to defend nature. Andrew clarifies their mission is not to harm humans, only to stop machines, mining, and projects erasing forests so animals can live freely again. Karag listens, but says he needs time to think. Andrew ends the call cold, silent, unreadable. That weekend, Karag's foster family visits. He lights up with joy, showing them his room. Lisa assures Anna and Melody that Karag is doing well, though he misses them deeply. Anna promises a weekend hike, which Karag agrees to happily, but Andrew calls again. A mission is set for the same weekend. Karag explains his family plans and admits that fighting against humans feels wrong now. He also confirms the Woodwalker incidents are real, not random. Andrew hangs up, silent and distant. Karag feels torn. The school feels unfamiliar. The wild feels louder. Holly and Brandon notice his disturbance, but Karag walks away without answering and shifts into a puma, sprinting into the forest. Wing catches up, warning that being here violates school rules, but the sky answers first. A tracking drone hovers overhead, proof that a hunter watches the forest. Gunshots erupt. The hunter fires. The drone tracks relentlessly. Wing smashes the drone mid-air, shouting for Karag to keep running. The hunter releases trained tracking dogs and Karag slows, injured, exhausted, almost giving in. Then Shadow throws him clothes. Karag shifts into human form and wears them instantly. The dogs freeze, confused, unable to identify him, then retreat into the dark. His wounds win the final argument. Karag collapses unconscious. He wakes in Andrew's home. He reveals everything. A hunter tried to kill him. Andrew then unveils the larger threat. Humans plan to build a mining site near the national park. The forest will be destroyed. Animals will be killed or shipped to zoos. This is not business. This is erasure. Andrew looks at him and asks again, "Do you stand with us now, or do you still need time?" Karag answers instantly. He agrees. No hesitation. Andrew gathers allies. The plan forms clearly. Sabotage the mining machinery. Stop destruction before it begins. Protect forests without harming humans. Restore balance between worlds. Karag has chosen. The mission has begun. Before the mission, Andrew tells Karag he has sent word to Woodwalkers to trace his real Puma family, assuring him they will be found soon. Anna calls, saying they're coming to pick him up. Karag hesitates, guilt rising as he tells her he is busy with something important with his mentor. Anna sounds disappointed. The guilt stays quiet but heavy. Holly and Brandon question him, but Karag keeps the truth hidden, shutting the door on the conversation. No more delays. The group moves toward the mining site. Andrew assigns roles precisely. Karag guides animals safely from the forest's west side. Jeffrey and his Wolfpack drive workers out through intimidation. Dan pushes massive logs downhill to destroy the mining machinery from above. The plan begins. At the west edge, Karag freezes. Below the trees sits a campsite belonging to his foster family, here for a weekend outing. The mission crashes into his heart. Karag calls Andrew, begging him to stop. Andrew replies calm and certain, saying the camp is outside the danger zone and there's nothing to fear. Karag is not convinced. The wolves succeed in clearing workers. Dan moves the truck forward, logs ready. Karag orders him to stop. Dan ignores him. Brandon attempts stopping the vehicle from behind. Above, Shadow and Wing watch from the sky. The wolves panic. Jeffrey and his pack flee instantly, knowing discovery means expulsion from school. Then Lou confronts Derek. She agrees mining must stop, but warns, not like this. These actions will turn humans against all Woodwalkers. Derek refuses to listen. He shifts into a bear and lunges at Lou, and in that moment, the mission spirals out of control. Balance is breaking, truth is exposed, and Karag stands between the worlds again, forced to stop a war that began in shadows. Brandon tackles the bear, throwing himself into danger to save Lou. Karag shifts into a puma, fury overriding fear. Dan panics and flees. Andrew arrives also in puma form and frees the tires, then turns on Karag for disobedience. They clash brutally as the massive logs start sliding downhill from above. Karag freezes. Horror overtakes instinct. He breaks away and sprints downhill toward his family's camp. The rumble reaches the camp. Anna orders everyone to take cover, but Melody, lost in music with headphones, stays exposed. She screams as the logs rush toward her. At the last second, Karag reaches her and pulls her to safety. Anna and her husband find Melody alive, overwhelmed with relief. Melody says a puma saved her, but her family assumes it was panic speaking. At the hill's base, Holly, Brandon, and Lou find Karag unconscious. He opens his eyes. Relief hits them instantly. The camp is safe, the family untouched. Andrew returns, claiming they were only hiking during the accident. He calls in a helicopter to send Karag's family home. Karag says goodbye, calm but cracking inside. Once the helicopter lifts, his anger returns. He tells Andrew he is done following him and is ready to expose who is behind the human incidents. Andrew stops him, revealing he has